Alright guys, it's Dokkan time, and for those JP players, we got the EZA for Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, and Evo Blue, the cheetah, coming out on Thursday. The 22nd, that's all I know. He's coming out on the 22nd at 12 a.m. on the dot, which at this time of recording is like a little over 24 hours away. What you see on the screen right now... Yeah, right there, right above me, is my suggested build. You can choose to go full dodge, you can choose to go full additional. It doesn't really matter, it just highly depends on if you want a more defensive build or you want a more DPS build, is what I like to say. Offensive build is probably the correct terminology you should be using. But anyways, so he gets much better after he EZAs. I think this might be slightly wrong. I think he's supposed to be a 180 lead, but yeah, I think he's supposed to be a 180 lead. That's weird. I swear it said 180 before. That might be a problem with the website. Either way, everything else is correct. Super attack 12 key is greatly raised attack. He has a 50% chance to crit right out of the gate. And then he raises all allies' chance of performing crit by 7%. That's absurd. He doesn't raise his crit by 7% at that point, though. He raises just allies. But then, same thing on his... I'm sorry, I'm tired. I just had a baby. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. He massively raises attack on 18 key. 50% chance to crit still. And instead of only one turn, he actually raises all allies' crit by 7% for 2 turns. Now, the interesting thing about this is that, obviously, it's for 2 turns, so the next rotation also gets the 7%. But, in this case, if you had Master Ultra Instinct Goku in slot 1 and he additionals, he's actually doubling down. So the current rotation that he's on actually is giving all allies a 14% chance to crit, because if he does the 18 key and the 12 key, they have 2 separate abilities. And now, don't hold me to it, but I think potentially you can increase that if you just keep getting additionals. So that's something to think about. Like, you know, just getting additionals will build up crit for the whole rotation. Is that worth it? Or do you want to go more towards dodge? But let's look at his passive. Gets key plus 7 right off the get-go. So no matter what team he's on, he's already at 13 key. Evades enemies' attacks for 1 turn upon entering the turn. Oh, that's just the first turn. Okay, so on turn 1, the dude literally is just instantaneously dodging. He's just dodging for a whole turn. Attack and defense 200, additional attack and 77% when HP is 77% or more. I don't like that. That's kind of unfortunate. There are going to be times where you're definitely going to be below that marker, unless you have Beast Gohan on the team or something. But that just means you're losing a chunk of defense and attack otherwise. But he has a chance of launching additional super and chance of evading enemies' attack plus 77%. It is such a wild thing to just throw that in there. But yeah, I mean, the 77% chance to additional and 77% chance to evade. That is the highest raw single dodge increase in the game right now. That's pretty crazy. Plus an additional chance of evading enemy attack plus 7% within the same turn for every attack evaded. So that means you evade 1 attack and it goes up by 7%. That means a 7% increase, you'll be at 83% chance to dodge on the next attack coming in at you. And then, if you dodge that attack, you're at a 90% chance. And if a third attack comes in, you're going to be at a 97% chance. And if you dodge a 4th attack, you have a 100% chance to dodge. Yeah. So, that is something that you need to keep in mind when you're looking at this Goku. He literally, after dodging 4 attacks specifically, if you dodge 4 attacks, he auto dodges anything else that comes at him. Now, do I think he's going to actually hit that point? More than likely, if he's in slot 1, he's gonna actually end up, he's probably going to go through those 4 attacks, and then maybe 5th, 6th, or 7th will come in, perhaps an 8th. It really depends on the boss fight. But in my experience, you don't have more than about 5 or 6 attacks coming in at you. You know, in the likely odds, you know, maybe you'll get odds are in your favor. You know, you dodge 4 attacks, and the 5th attack was a super attack. You auto dodged it. That's fantastic, you know. But in my experience, when a super comes in, it's frame 1, slot 1, and it's right in your face, or it's the second attack. Usually it's not like after several normals, not usually. But if you know where the dodge, you know where the super attack's coming in, that'll help quite a bit, because I mean he's basically an auto dodge. So something to think about. Plus an additional ki +2 up to 10, and defense +30 up to 150 with every attack evaded. So this is a static one, so it stays up. So after you've evaded 5 attacks, you'll have 10 plus ki. So you'll be starting out at 16 ki. And then if you dodge 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 5 attacks, you'll be at 150% extra defense, fully built up. You'll have quite a nice looking defense. Plus an additional attack plus 77%, and then performs a crit when activating the active skill or when ki is 24 or more. If HP is 77% or less at the start of attacking turn, revive a 77% recovered HP. When the character or an ally in the same turn is KO'd. So the good thing about that is it doesn't matter who dies on the rotation, you revive. And you can revive when you have less than 77% HP, which is a very good margin of error to work with. The likelihood of you dying from 77% HP is probably pretty low, but at least you'll always have the option. You know, you don't have to worry about always being at below 50%. Another ki +7 attack and defense 77%, starting from the turn in which the character or an ally's revival skill is activated. That means you get the buff from reviving. I'm really glad they brought this over here. It was an issue that we've seen on World Tournament 23rd Goku and other units for quite some time. Not World Tournament 23rd Goku, but we've seen this kind of ability on 23rd World Tournament Goku since, well, he came out. And other units that don't have that revive effect just struggle, you know. Some of these units really depend on a revive, and it's just nice that they threw that in there. I'm really happy they did. Evades enemies' attacks, including super attack, within the character's next attacking turn after the revival skill is activated. Now, the only thing about this is that this is not including your... it's not including if someone else's revive went off. It's only if Goku's revive went off. So, the one big thing to keep in mind of this unit that I really want to instill into people, let's go look at Halvard's stats. Keep in mind these stats are with the 8th anniversary battle special skill orbs. As you can see, additionals do not matter on your defense. Now, if you're looking at Master Ultra Instinct Goku, you're thinking, okay, what do I care about that if he's gonna dodge all the time? Yeah, well, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Hirudegarn is supposed to be on this roughly about the same level as this Master Ultra Instinct Goku as far as dodge is considered, and I have had times on a private server where he doesn't dodge. So, in that mind, I like to remind people that there is other ways to build this unit, or you can just go full dodge. So his raw defense is very good. Start of turn defense. So that is his defense, is his start of turn defense. He doesn't get any defense on super specifically. So I think he has literally the highest start of turn defense in the entire game. It's very wild. Without support, without build-up, he's got no defense. But, you know, once you fully build up after dodging 5 attacks, you're at almost 700k defense. Above the 77% HP, you're at 861k defense. And then after your revive effect kicks in from either an ally's or your own, he's at 1.1 million defense. Now, you got to remember, he doesn't have damage reduction, he doesn't have anything. If by chance a super attack comes in at Ultra Instinct Goku and he doesn't dodge it, he still has a chance to dodge it. Just remember, he has a chance to dodge it. In the current new content of 9th anniversary, it's 2 million super attacks all around. Everyone's doing 2 million super attacks. everyone's doing 2.5 million super attacks. He still, with the new hardest content, is a dodge or die unit. The previous medal with Dismal Future Red Zone, I mean, even Dismal Future Red Zone, he can still get clapped if he didn't dodge. But, you know, like previous other challenging events, this guy's just going to mow it over. It doesn't even matter. It's crazy. It's wild how high his defense is. But anyways, so my point being here is that no matter, he does still have a chance that he couldn't dodge. It's a very low, unlikely scenario. Obviously, you know, odds are in your favor in the chance of using this unit. If you want to go 100% into just relying on the passive, obviously you don't have to give him dodge. Just give him that critical. But he's already pretty much auto-critting. He's got 50% in his super attack. He's giving crit to everybody else. And after he revives, he's literally having enough ki to always hit 24 ki. And when he's at 24 ki, he's auto-critting. So, I mean, he doesn't need crit. There's no reason to put crit into him whatsoever. You're just wasting hidden potential at that point. So no matter what, he's an additional and a dodge build character. You pick one, you stick to it. I mean, just roll with it. It's entirely up to you. If you're a full dodge advocate, I get it. If you really just want to, if you don't have the dupes or the stones to replace it, and you went full dodge before, don't feel bad. It's fine. But I would suggest highly trying to force your way over to extra additionals, because if you can start stacking up those extra crits for your rotation, that could be a lot of damage. This dude's good. This dude's really good. I don't know if he's necessarily the number 2 unit in the game. I think everyone's putting a lot of stonks into the dodge effect, which is good. You know, dodge is good. You got to remember, though, a lot of fights are starting to really throw in cancel dodge. So I don't know if I would necessarily put him in as a number 2 unit. I think Vegeta might take that number 2 slot. Maybe number 3, really hard to say. I think it's too early to tier list Ultra Instinct Goku and Evo Blue Vegeta. But anyways, guys, let me know how you decide to fully build your Master Ultra Instinct Goku, and I hope you have a good day and a good night.